Hello, everyone, and welcome to your yoga class. Today's yoga class is a gentle, full-bodied yoga class. Today, we will do Dharasana, bow pose. It not only strengthens the back and the abdominals, but it may also improve circulation and digestion. But first, hello, and my name is Vanessa. I'm a yoga therapist based in the San Francisco Bay Area. In this yoga series, we will always have a peak pose that we are working towards. And today, that pose is Dharasana, bow pose. I'm going to jump outside, so meet me on the mat. You'll feel better in body, mind, and spirit. So let's start by coming into a little meditation, um, just slowing down our breath, slowing down our minds, finding that comfortable seated position on the mat, lengthening the spine, inhaling all the way up, exhaling, feeling your sit bones, moving away the flesh from the bones. Inhale deeply and exhale, letting everything go. So we haven't talked much about breath work, but we'll try a Ujjayi breath, which is inhaling in through the nose and then exhaling out through the nose with a slight constriction at the back of the neck. So it almost sounds like an ocean, right? The waves of the ocean crashing up on the beach. So just bringing your eyes to your third eye. So your focus at your third eye. Maybe your eyes are just gently open, pointing down towards the tip of your nose. Inhaling in, lengthening the spine, and then exhaling with that slight constriction at the back of the neck so that you're making the sounds of the waves in the ocean. Now, I don't know if you can hear me with the mic, but we'll take a few rounds of breaths. So just bringing your attention to yourself, looking out at the tip of your nose, focusing in with your third eye, inhaling in deeply into your center, into your heart, and then exhaling out through the nose. Very good. Let's bring our hands to heart center. We'll start by bringing in an intention for our class today. Do you have a wish or a prayer for yourself or for your family? Wonderful. So let's take our hands and hold them together. Just begin to bring in some movement into the body. So starting with our hands and our wrists, taking each hand and really stretching. You can rub each finger, taking some time to rub around the knuckles, rub the opposite thumb into the palm of the hand. Give yourself a nice massage. And shake out your hands. And again, just bringing them together and start to bring that movement all the way down to your elbows. So moving both the wrists and the elbows, and then waking up, rubbing your arms. And go ahead and bring that up into the upper arm and your shoulders. Stretching out one hand, stretching out the bicep here. And inhaling, arms all the way up, slowly, slowly stretching up, and then reaching up one arm at a time. Very nice. Let's do that again. Inhaling and interlace the hands above you and stretch all the way up. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, letting the neck be loose. And one more time. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. And relaxing the head and neck here. Rocking your head back and forth. Inhaling into your lower back. Walking the hands up. Gonna inhale both arms up. And this time, take your right arm and bring that hand down to your lower back. So just pulling with the opposite hand on that elbow so that your hand reaches down your back. And sitting up tall, each inhalation, lengthening the spine, and bringing the hands behind you, interlace the hands behind your back, maybe finding the mat, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and really opening the chest here. So opening the chest. We're just beginning our practice by taking these nice deep stretches, inhaling all the way up and taking opposite elbow, and again pulling that arm behind your back, inhaling in, lengthening the spine, and releasing, taking both hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers and squeezing the shoulder blades, opening the chest, and breathe. Lovely. You're going to release and inhale the arms directly out like you're going to give someone a great big hug, and then take one arm across your body and hug it with the other arm, the opposite arm, pulling and bringing this nice shoulder stretch. And again, just keeping your head and neck loose without tension. Inhaling, great big hug, and exhaling. Squeezing the opposite arm. One more time. Big inhalation. Like you're going to give someone a great big hug, and then take the right arm across your body. Maybe this time you can look over your right shoulder. Maybe both, looking in both directions. And release, opening wide, and bringing the opposite arm across your body. Looking left and looking right. Excellent. Inhale the arms all the way up, and exhale, forward fold. Walking the hands up, interlacing the hands behind your body. Inhaling, opening your chest. Inhaling the arms all the way up. And exhale, reach to one side. Inhale in to that side body. Inhale, arms all the way up. And exhale, reaching to the other side. And go back and forth a few times to each side. Inhaling up and exhaling, stretch. Inhaling up and exhaling, stretch. Inhaling up and exhaling, stretch. Maybe looking up, looking down, remembering we don't want any tension in our necks. Inhaling up and exhaling, stretch. Very nice. Coming to hands and knees now. So finding your knees beneath your hips, hands underneath shoulders, and then taking a few cat and cows. So dropping the belly while lifting up the chin for cow, and then rounding your back, dropping the head, chin towards your chest for cat. And then making this movement authentic, inhaling one way and exhaling the other, noticing where your breath wants to go. Trying to relax the muscles in your body, relaxing the face muscles, relaxing the neck, just moving the spine. And then coming down, so hips still up, coming down to bring the elbows to your mat and bring your hands into prayer pose or leave the hands flat. And then playing with this movement. So moving forward and then coming into this little squatted dolphin. So coming into that cobra and then moving back, your hips up, coming into cobra, and then really reaching the arms up here, out here. So we're coming into puppy. So keeping the hips up. This is different than child's pose, because child's pose, the hips are all the way down and we reach out with our arms. So in puppy, we're going to keep our hips up and bring our arms, bring our chest down to the mat. So trying to bring our chest down to the mat here, leaving the hips up. And if it feels better, sort of relaxing into this pose by keeping the elbows down and the hands spread. Release, pushing back into child's pose. Let's walk the hands to the left and to the right. Taking a breath when you come to the end. Inhaling in through that side stretch and then walking across to the other side. Inhaling into the side, walking across your mat again. Inhaling into your side stretch and walking across again. Inhaling into the side. Very good. Release. Bringing your knees together. Let's sit up on our toes now. So we'll take a moment to stretch our toes and the soles of our feet. You can bring your hands into prayer pose between your knees. And again, you just Look at the tip of your nose and concentrate on your breath, bringing your attention to your body, inhaling into your heart space, connecting again to your intention for the day, and release. Very nice. So counter pose to that, we're going to take one knee at a time and lengthen our ankles here. So just lifting one knee up at a time while we sit back on our toes. And if it's in your practice, you can lift both knees. Very good. So coming in through all fours, we're going to tuck our toes and push our heels up and come into downward facing dog. So this is our first dog. Let's walk this dog. One heel down at a time. Hands are on the mat, fingers are wide, palms are flat. Head, just relax. Relax your head and your neck. You can shake your head yes and no. And walk this dog. So bending one knee and lengthening the other, and then doing that on the other side. And noticing how your hamstrings feel. So we're going to find some stillness here. So we're going to push away from our mat, keeping the hips up high. Both legs are, heels are pushed towards the mat. Probably not on the mat, maybe. Mine aren't. I'm really pushing away, finding stillness here. And moving in through our chaturanga, into our chaturanga, we're going to pause here at plank. It's keeping the hips nice and high. And then as we come down and through our chaturanga, I want you to leave your elbows close to your body. So keeping your elbows close to the body, coming down as slowly as you can until you come all the way down to your mat. And then placing those elbows underneath shoulders, leaving the hands, fingers wide, palms flat on the mat in front of you, coming into Sphinx. So again, you could just look towards the tip of your nose. Bring your attention towards your third eye. Remembering to breathe. And then bringing the hands underneath shoulders, moving through our tabletop and pushing back into downward facing dog. And again, we'll start by walking this dog. Notice how you feel. We're going to take some movement and then pause. So finding your perfect downward dog. Both heels pointing towards the mat, palms flat against the mat, pushing away so your hips are really being pushed up. And then inhaling, coming into plank and holding, pausing at plank. Pausing at plank. This is good for your core. And you can always modify by bringing your knees down first. You can try to slowly, 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 keeping your elbows close to your body, hover at the mat and then come all the way down and find your Sphinx. So we're just lengthening our abdominals here. So looking forward, keeping your gaze down, taking a few breaths here. Very nice. And release, coming through tabletop. Let's push into child's pose. Relaxing the head and neck, inhaling into our lower back. So this is the counter pose for Sphinx or Cobra. So let's take a few of these back and forth movements. So here we're stretching those abdominals and then rounding the back, relaxing the core. Moving through our tabletop again, curling our toes under and coming into downward facing dog again. And the same, we're going to walk this dog. Notice how your body feels. Shaking your head yes and no to remind yourself to relax your neck. Remembering to push away your mat. Palms flat on your mat. And then finding that stillness, pushing the heels towards the mat, the back of the mat. We're going to inhale up the right leg, come into three-legged dog. And exhale, bringing that leg in front of us. So with this leg right now, we're going to step to the outside of the mat, lower the left leg down, release your toes. And if it's in your practice, bring your elbows to the mat, hands out wide. Coming into lizard. A real deep hip opener here. You can stay like this if that's where you are, if that's what feels good. Just remembering to breathe. Deep stretches today. Just inhaling into those places of tension and releasing with each exhale. Very good. Releasing, tucking the toes, pulling that kind of a low lunge back and taking the foot back into our three-legged dog. This time let's bend the knee, point the foot, bend the knee, and bringing both feet down, coming into that downward facing dog, and then pausing for plank. Inhaling here, holding your plank, keeping the hips high. Chaturanga, keeping the elbows close to the body. Modify if you need to. Hovering over your mat if you can, and then come all the way down and come into Sphinx. Taking a few breaths here. And release, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, coming through tabletop and pushing back up into downward facing dog. Walking your feet. This time inhaling the left leg up, three-legged dog. And on an exhalation, bringing that foot to the outside of the mat. So this might be enough for you. Otherwise, we're going to play with bringing the hip forward. So lowering the knee on your right side. And if it's in your practice, coming all the way down to the elbows. And just keeping your gaze down at your mat. Don't want to strain your neck by looking around. Just remembering to breathe. Your attention is with yourself, with your practice. And coming back up onto your hands, maybe dipping the hip one more time before tucking the toes. And then getting ready to come back into your three-legged dog. Bending the knee on this side. Opening the hip. And then from downward dog, inhaling into our plank again. Ooh, so many planks. And chaturanga. This time come all the way down. It's hard for me to do with my hat on, but just relax. Take one cheek to the mat and shake your tail feathers out. Just relax all the muscles in your body. Take a few breaths here. Very good. So bringing the neck to a neutral position. Taking the right arm and finding the right foot. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my left hand down at my mat and just looking lightly at the top of my mat with my eyes. I want to relax my head and neck to keep my spine straight. And then begin to push back with my right leg. So I'm gonna pull with my right arm to stretch my quad. And then I'm going to flex my foot and kick back, opening my chest. And moving back and forth like this. So coming down to the mat, keeping the spine neutral, trying to see if your heel touches your bum. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And then inhaling, kicking back with that right leg. And release. Taking the right arm now to the side of your mat, and then taking the left hand and finding your left ankle. So again, we'll begin by just pulling down with our left hand on our left foot, waking up our quad muscle, and then flexing the foot and kicking the foot back so that your upper body rises. And again, moving back and forth. So taking your left foot down towards your bum, and kicking back, opening the chest. One more time. Releasing, keeping the spine straight, pushing down on your left foot with your left hand. And then on an inhalation, kicking yourself up, kicking that foot up. And release. So just relaxing the shoulders now, relaxing one chin to mat, shaking your tail feathers. Breathing. Very good. So coming to neutral again, bringing the chin to the mat. I'm going to reach for both ankles, both hands now. And first, I'm going to see how close to my bum I can get my heels. Very good. And then on an inhalation, inhale, pulling back, lifting the chest. And if it's in your practice, you can rock back and forth. I know for myself, I need another mat down to do that. And release. Shake out the tail feathers. One more pose while we're down here. I'm going to take my right hand and find the outside of my left foot. So my left hand is by my left shoulder. My right hand is around my left foot. And I'm going to rock back and forth. So touching my foot to the mat, keeping my head and neck relaxed, and moving back and forth. And hold it. Hold that foot behind you. And release. Good job. Wagging your tail feathers. Resting your cheek on your mat. And then setting up for the other side. This time, my left hand is reaching for the outside of my right foot. And I'm going to rock back and forth. Trying to tap my foot as high as I can behind me. So relaxing the head and neck. And then finding a pause here, bringing that foot all the way behind you. Breathing. Bringing into inhale and exhale. And release. Bringing the opposite cheek to mat and wave your tail. Very good. Inhale, push up through our tabletop and come into child's pose. A nice rounded child's pose. So wide knee, big toes touching behind, and then rounding forward, reaching the hands out. Inhaling into the lower back. Walking the hands up, releasing, bringing both feet in front of you now. Flex and point our toes. Maybe make some circle movements with our ankles. And then find your sit bones on your mat, sitting up tall. Inhaling the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. So letting your hands land wherever they land It might be at your ankles. If you can grab your toes, grab your toes. And pull forward slightly. This is an active stretch. Nice. Let's take the left foot to the outside of the mat and bring the right foot in towards your body, looking over that left leg. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Locking the hands up. We're going to come into a twist. So inhaling the arms up, exhaling, bringing the left hand to right knee, coming into that twist. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. And releasing. I'm going to inhale the arms up and take the right hand behind you, leaving the left arm up, and push your hips up, coming into that fallen star. And let's make some big circles with our arms and shoulders here. So going in both directions, keeping the hips up tall, maybe looking down at your hand or up at the other hand, and release. Good job. Starting in our Dandasana, taking both feet out in front of us, flexing the feet, sitting up tall, inhaling, lengthening the spine. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, find your toes. Find your active stretch. And then walking with both hands up, taking the right foot to the outside of your mat, bringing the left foot towards your body, and then turning out towards your right toes, your right outstretched leg. Inhale, both arms up, and exhale, forward fold over that leg. Walking the hands up, coming into the twist this time. So inhaling the arms up, and exhale, twist to the left. Right hand on left knee, looking over the left shoulder. And release. Coming into that fallen star again, we're going to inhale both arms up. Exhale, taking the left arm behind us and pushing up our hips. Making big circles with our arms at the top. Moving in both directions. And release. Very nice. Let's take both legs out, bent, and windshield wiper. Releasing the tension in our lower backs. Coming all the way down onto your mat. Letting the muscles relax in your body. Letting the toes fall outward. Palms up the sky. Noticing the breath in your belly. Taking one more look around your space from this position, noticing what you see. Noticing how it's different from what you saw earlier. And then when you're ready, gently closing your eyes and just noticing what it is that you smell. And then noticing what it is that you feel. And you could take a moment to notice both what you feel outside of your body, like the wind on your skin, but also notice what it is that you feel within. And then what it is, notice what it is that you hear. Are there any sounds around you? And then these last couple minutes, just bringing all of your senses to yourself. Leaving all of the things outside of you behind. Coming within. Just feeding yourself with your breath, with your attention. Filling yourself with whatever it is that you need in this moment. Knowing that you always have the ability to give yourself this attention. You can choose where your attention goes. This is taking this last minute to give yourself what you need. And placing one hand on your lower belly, one hand on your heart. Let's take a few breaths here to say something kind to yourself. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you like. Otherwise, we'll bring some life back into these bodies, wiggling fingers and toes, lengthening the arms up over the head, pointing the toes in the opposite direction, hugging your body, and coming into that fetal position so that we can roll up and end our practice together in a tall, comfortable seated position. We'll end our practice together with the sound of one Om. So bringing our hands to the prayer pose and to heart center. Let's Inhale a cleansing breath. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, letting everything go. Inhale for Om. Hands to your third eye. May you always see beauty, may you always hear truth, and may you always know love. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.